Fibank is the first bank in Bulgaria to issue internet banking more than 20 years ago. And we are praised as the best bank with the best customer service. We are expanding our digital services to Greece, to the Greek market. The most important thing, based on the local market here in our experience, is that we as a bank offer to the customers 24/7 live support. We also are developing a team of native speakers with Greek and other languages. So the Greek customers would benefit for talking to a real person in Greek. But by having a localized support, we're able to very easily and fast understand what are the customers' needs, requests, help them, which is very beneficial for the end customer.
Could you please share why would you be attractive for the Greek customers?
I would be honest, we don't expect to be the first or become the first in the next 1 or 2 years. But what I can assure you is that our team here is working day and night to create the best offering possible to the end customer. Even for millennials or even the older generations, I believe after a customer registers with us and sees the benefits, and we expect this to evolve and as a nice relationship between us and many customers.
How do you envision the banking service in, let's say, 5 years, 6 years?
In 5 years, I would expect many apps to have voice-commanded assistants. Any product would be issued instant.
And if you're just as passionate about innovation as we are, hit subscribe for the Recursive podcast on your YouTube or your favorite podcast platform. We're everywhere.
Welcome to the Recursive podcast. Thank you for inviting us in your office here.
You're welcome. Hello.
Usually we have founders or investors in our chair.
Oh.
But this episode is a bit different. Could you please share a couple of words about you?
My name is Vladimir. Currently, I'm Chief Digital Officer in the bank. I cover domains information technology, digital banking, project management, and international markets development. I'm with the bank for more than 15 years. I started back ago as an auditor, but through the years I have developed my interest and fondness on technology. We're one of the pioneers in many domains, starting from contactless payments to many other instant payments, and now the kind of a different step for expanding to different markets in Europe.
You mentioned innovation, so I suppose you're avid readers of the Recursive?
Yeah, of course. We read your articles. They're very interesting. As you said, you have many founders of different startups, and we're very happy to be here as a traditional bank representing the traditional banking landscape. So I hope to have an interesting conversation.
And why is traditional banking sector now interested in digital banking?
Actually, it has been like this for many years. It was enhanced a lot by the COVID years. But this is a very natural development of the traditional banking to be digital, even to be fully digital in some areas. We investigate a lot what others are doing on the market, new banks, traditional banks, Fintechs. And actually, we as a traditional bank have the benefit of the larger infrastructure, the backing up of many customers to create very interesting and innovative products, which are actually very closely relatable to a FinTech product. For example, the real-time payments. This is something which in the FinTech domain was, many years ago, it was a fact. But we, as Fibank in Bulgaria, were amongst the first to introduce instant payments in digital and in local offices. And this was just the beginning. Afterwards, we are developing a lot of hyper-personalization activities, of course, backed by AI and data science teams. So this is a thing which traditional banks now invest a lot, so that we are on par with the others on the market. Yeah.
And from your perspective, what are the specific trends that are shaping digital banking at the moment?
The real-time payments is one it's now a permanent trend. It's not something emerging. But what actually is becoming now a standard, something that we did 4 or 5 years ago, is the instant issuance of different loan products. For example, credit card, consumer loan. Those things in our infrastructure are developed in a way that the end customer can have a disbursement loan amount for specific amount within 1 or 2 minutes. This is something even the Fintechs are not doing very largely currently. The next thing is the hyper personalization, which is I think it started a long time ago with the big tech companies, but now what we're doing is we investigate and develop different behavioral scoring models, which based on them we can offer tailored product on each customer. And this correlates directly to the AI domain, of course, something very big right now, which is actually the thing we started 2 years ago. Even we went live with our virtual assistant for a specific group of customers, which was backed by a large language model. It's working very nice, having the risks and the challenges. It's something we are investigating and developing a lot. Maybe the fourth thing is the marketplace banking. This is the ability, the traditional bank, to introduce more and more non-financial products which have added value to the customer, like, for example, vignettes here in Bulgaria for the roads, or utility payments, something not very relatable to a bank.
And as we know, these digital services are more likable by the younger generation. You are targeting tech-savvy 20 to 45 years old, but how are you aiming to bridge the gap with the older generation who's still using the banking service?
Actually, the topic with the generation is very interesting because it is a constant for the younger generation to want to onboard themselves in many fintech apps. But for the traditional bank, now currently, what we see is that in our customer database, more and more mid-age customers are starting to use very actively the mobile application. What this means for us is that this is actually becoming a commodity for everyone to have a nice mobile app, either fintech or traditional bank, which has to abide to different requirements for this to happen. For example, we have very lean processes for payments. We do payments in 3 to 4 steps, which is very close to a fintech. Also, our onboarding process is very easy, and the customer experience as a whole is very convenient for the customer. What is actually even more important nowadays with the coming of all AI tools and assistants is the topic regarding the support. Our bank, traditionally, for many, many years, we are more than 30 years on the market, we're offering 24/7 live support to our customers. This is something very few large cross-continent or cross-country apps are providing, so this is a competitive advantage we rely on.
And as you know, the Recursive is covering Central and Eastern European tech ecosystem.
Yeah.
So not all of our readers are familiar with First Investment Bank. Could you please share in a couple of words the journey of the bank, how everything started?
Yeah.
Some key highlights.
The bank started back in 1993, and for the time being, it has been and is currently the largest Bulgarian-owned bank, with Bulgarian main capitals. And we have around 8 to 9% market share, which puts us in a very interesting position because we're not the biggest. Also, we have Bulgarian ownership, and we are able to take very swiftly decisions which for a large multinational bank could take even years to come into play. So we rely on that, and that's why for many, many developments and apps, we've been the first. Actually, Fibank is the first bank in Bulgaria to issue internet banking more than 20 years ago. So this is
and what
a
do
nice
you
fact.
consider as the best achievement so far? Highest.
The highest achievement. So we have had many rewards from the Banking Association and for many forums. and we are praised as one of, if not the best bank with the best customer service. This is something which through the years we have managed to fulfill and be on the top. And the interesting thing is that most of these awards are given by real tests with customers, secret customers to the bank. So this is nice recognition. Yeah.
And you had some news recently. In June, you announced also, we wrote about that in the Recursive, that you're expanding to Greece.
This is one, I would say, bold move from our side. We are expanding our digital services to Greece, to the Greek market. Some would ask why are you doing this at all? We're a traditional bank. There are many players there. But actually we see this as a very natural development of our current proposition to the customers. We are very comfortable here in Bulgaria, but we think the market here is kind of, I would not say full, but it's on some capacity, which allows us to give our strengths to other markets also. What we're doing in Greece is that we are offering our digital-only service, MyFibank. This is our mobile application. Why are we doing it? First, because we feel the Greek market is going to allow us. We hope so. Secondly, as you know, we are adopting the euro from the next year, and we are becoming part of the eurozone. And those are some of the reasons. Also, we conducted a very detailed analysis on the whole European market, and we see Greece as a nice starting point.
It's not an end destination. You plan to expand within the region.
What is our main goal is to create a value proposition for the local customers on each market, which number one is tightly competitive to the local players, the traditional banks. And secondly, it's competitive regarding and compared to the new banks and fintechs.
I'm glad you mentioned competitors because like the traditional banking market is really limited, but also the fintech market is really saturated. So how do you plan to compete like with big players, Revolut and 26?
For example, the onboarding process, the new customer onboarding in the mobile app is created in a way that is very easy for different customer ages. It's very convenient, fast, which allows us to onboard customers easily. And after that, we have created different products based on the needs of the customers that we anticipate, which products are very competitive regarding the other offerings. And I can give you an example. Let's say you onboard, you top up with your card, which is something which is native for many fintechs. I would not say for many traditional banks, but you add money to your account. The first thing you'll notice is that your current account with our bank has a permanent percentage of yearly interest. This is something which is not so common. It is something which is even part of many paid programs, but we give this to our customers. Currently, it's 1% for our holdings for current accounts. This is not term deposit. Then, when you go through the services of the app, you would see that, for example, the term deposits offer up to 2% yearly interest. This is something which I would say is one of the nicer competitive advantages. Of course, it is relatable to trust, something I think many new customers would have from day one, knowing that we are 30 years on the local market here. We're not a new company. And of course, on the transactional side, when you start paying with your card, with your debit card, you would see that on each transaction that you do, either virtual POS, physical POS, you would have percentage cashback, currently 0.4%, which is, for one of the premium plans. But the customers are seeing benefits which are are not common in the traditional banks. They are common in the fintechs, but we as a traditional bank enter the market saying that, we're here, we're a traditional bank, but we feel like a fintech.
What are the unique selling points for the Greek market?
As a traditional bank, we would offer our customers things like deposits, like interests, something which is not, very common in the fintech domain. Apart from the fully digital onboarding, which is standard now, and the card top-up, also which is a standard for adding accounts, our customers would benefit from permanent interest on current accounts, something not very common. Currently it's 1%, but it's a nice touch, I would believe, to the end customer, that each cent which is on our holdings with our bank is being under interest. Also, our payments provide cashback services to the customers. Currently 0.4 on the highest plan. Again, it's a sign to the customer that we would welcome all of them. They would feel a very fintech related experience with our app. And of course, the term deposits, which is something which in Greece is, I believe, a topic, up to 2% our customers could have based on their term and volume, fully digitally opened. So the most important thing, based on the local market here in our experience, is that we as a bank offer to the customers 24/7 live support. We also are developing a team of native speakers with Greek and other languages. So the Greek customers would benefit for talking to a real person, either with chat or on phone, in Greek, something which is not very common, I would say, even for big banks.
And how important is the localization for this market specifically?
It is very easy to create an offering with one language and disperse it across 10 markets. But the thing is that each market has its own even language specifics. And by having a localized support, we're able to very easily and fast understand what are the customers' needs, requests, help them, which is very beneficial for the end customer. Maybe we would have the experience of waiting for a chatbot. Sometimes it takes forever. We know this, and entering a new market, we want the customer to have the best experience possible.
Could you please share why would you be attractive for the Greek customers, for the Greek millennials?
I would be honest, we don't expect to be the first or become the first in the next 1 or 2 years. But what I can assure you is that our team here is working day and night to create the best offering possible to the end customer. Even for millennials or even the older generations, I believe after a customer registers with us and sees the benefits, and we expect this to evolve and as a nice relationship between us and many customers.
And nowadays, we take these apps more as an assistance rather than just a service provider. How do you position there?
Why do we perceive the app as an assistant? As a market as a whole, and currently the bank, we're investing a lot with AI and data science so that our customer could feel that they belong to the place after they log in. They see that the bank gives them personalized offer. They see that the bank gives congratulations on their birthdays, some personalized small touches, which makes the customer feel nice. And this, with all the more financial benefits on top, creates a nice space which the customer wants to come back again and again.
And could you please share the biggest myth or a couple of them you have heard about traditional banks?
The biggest myth? The biggest myth maybe is that traditional banks are slow. This bugs me a lot because what actually means slow? The traditional banks are, on par with all instant payments, all standards, top-notch security, And the digital products are becoming more and more available for all customer types. So I would not say this is any truth. So, but as time, goes across, this myth will be, challenged a lot.
And what's the biggest money anxiety, let's put it this way, that banks or digital banks solve today?
Money anxiety. One of the things, maybe it's on the top three, I would say, is the personal finance management, personal finance domain as budgeting as a whole. Many customers, when they log and see categorization of their spendings, they start to see some trends which are not that great or great, and based on that, they profile their future financial well-being, and they become more financially educated, and which results in their better lifestyle and quality of life. Yeah.
So Eastern Europe and Southeastern Europe usually compares a lot to Western Europe. That's inevitable. But what's the one lesson you wouldn't take from Western European banks?
To focus more on the individual customer, to focus more on the person, on the individuality, more than just create something adopted by the masses and not individualized. I think this is the thing which here locally gives us a competitive advantage, that we are able to very fast understand the customer need, adapt to it, and provide it as a service.
Tell us more about the AI technology you adopted and implemented within your services.
Yeah. So actually, we define the AI in two very big domains. The first one is the traditional data science and machine learning, which is the way by statistical tools we find behavior patterns for each customer, and based on that we create models which give offerings to them, either loans or other products which are personalized and tailored to them. This is the traditional approach. We've done this for many years. Also, the instant loan approval process is part of this domain. But in the past few years, we've seen a surge in the AI regarding the large language models and the agentic domain as a whole. And what we have done to the customers is firstly, we have created interactive chatbot assistant based on large language model, which has endless information regarding the bank, the services, and also has actions regarding the customer, as creating transfers, giving statements. This is the path that we are currently investing a lot and will in the future to develop those agentic tools as multimodal agents which create different benefits for the customers.
Yeah, it's difficult to predict what will happen with AI and the rapid technology adoption, even in the next 5 years.
Yeah.
But still, how do you envision the banking service in, let's say, 5 years, 6 years?
In 5 years, I would expect many apps to have voice commanded assistants. Many of the operations would be backed by voice, by assistants, and the customer would ask the assistant to do any operation. The next thing would be, anything would be instant. Any product would be issued instant. And of course, the UX would be even greater.
And do you imagine that physical offices will be still standing?
Sure, yeah. I don't expect in the near future the physical offices to perish, but their sole purpose would be in 5, let's say, or 10 years to be more like consultant hubs for different complex products, like some very complex investment loans or mortgage. But for the transactional domain, many of the customers, more than 90%, would use the mobile apps.
Vladimir, thank you for being part of the Recursive podcast. It was really interesting conversation.
The pleasure was all mine. Thank you.
And if you're just as passionate about innovation as we are, hit subscribe for the Recursive podcast on your YouTube or your favorite podcast platform. We're everywhere.